When it comes to the things men find truly irresistible, confidence stands at the very top, but not the kind of confidence that's loud or boastful. I'm talking about a quiet, magnetic kind of confidence. It's the energy of a woman who walks into a room and doesn't need to announce herself. She doesn't need approval. She doesn't seek validation. She already knows who she is, and that energy speaks louder than anything she could say. Men are naturally drawn to this kind of presence, often without even realizing why. It's because confidence signals emotional stability. It tells a man, I'm good with or without you. And paradoxically, that's exactly what makes him want to be close to you even more. It's not about arrogance or acting like you don't care. True confidence is warm, inviting, and grounded. It says, I am enough, and if you want to be part of my world, you'll have to meet me there. One thing to remember is that confidence isn't something you put on like a jacket when you leave the house. It's built quietly over time. It's rooted in how you treat yourself when no one's watching. It's in how you talk to yourself when things go wrong. Are you compassionate with yourself? Do you honor your emotions without letting them define you? Do you keep promises you make to yourself, even the small ones? These are the little things that add up to an aura that's absolutely magnetic. When you embody this kind of self-respect, you automatically raise your standards not because you're trying to play games, but because you genuinely know what you deserve. And when a man meets a woman with standards, he feels challenged in the best way. He's not just thinking about her looks. He's thinking about how he can earn a place in her life. He's thinking about how to bring his best self to the table because her confidence inspires it. And here's something powerful. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel insecure. Every woman, no matter how beautiful or successful, has her doubts from time to time. True confidence is about how you handle those moments. Do you crumble, or do you remind yourself that you are still worthy even on your worst day? Do you cling tighter to a man's approval, or do you breathe, stand tall, and trust that the right people will never need convincing? A woman who can embrace her imperfections while still holding herself in high regard is unforgettable. She's rare, she's mesmerizing. She's the woman who lingers in a man's mind long after she's left the room, not because she was trying to be remembered, but because her very essence made it impossible to forget her. Confidence also shapes how you communicate. A confident woman can say no without guilt. She can express her needs calmly without drama or desperation. She can accept compliments with grace instead of deflecting them with self-deprecating humor. She's not waiting to be chosen, she's already chosen herself, and that energy changes everything. So if you want him to think about you a lot, not just in passing, but to truly be captivated by you, start by deepening your relationship with yourself. Honor your own worth. Be your own biggest fan. Build a life that you love so much that anyone who wants to join it has to rise up to meet you. Because at the end of the day, irresistible confidence isn't about being better than anyone else. It's simply about being so at peace with yourself that the right man can't help but think about you. Again and again. Now, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked, but is truly one of the most irresistible qualities. A woman can have playful femininity. There's a certain magic in a woman who embraces her lightness. It's not about being childish or fake. It's about embodying a natural, genuine joy, a softness, a spark that invites a man to relax, to have fun, and to open up around you. In today's world, where so many of us are encouraged to be tough, to hustle, to be on, all the time, a woman who can stay connected to her playful side feels like a breath of fresh air. She reminds a man of what it feels like to enjoy life again. She creates an emotional experience he craves. When you allow yourself to be playful, teasing him a little, laughing easily, showing genuine curiosity, you awaken a very deep instinct in a man, the desire to protect, to provide, and to cherish. Not because you need him to complete you, but because your lightness invites him to step into his best masculine energy. It's an effortless dance that happens when you're simply enjoying the moment, rather than trying to control the outcome. And here's the beautiful part. Playful femininity is never about performing. You don't have to fake a bubbly personality if that's not who you are. True feminine playfulness is rooted in presence. It's about being fully in the moment, allowing yourself to smile, to flirt with your eyes, to share a little joke, to let your guard down without losing your self-respect. Men find this incredibly magnetic because it breaks through the tension and pressures of everyday life. It's a reminder that love, connection, and attraction aren't serious negotiations. They're meant to be a source of joy, and when you think about it, real intimacy always includes play. Think about the couples you admire most, the ones who seem truly happy together. Chances are, you'll notice they're always teasing each other, laughing, sharing inside jokes. That playful dynamic keeps the spark alive, and it all starts from the very beginning, when two people first meet and connect through that light, flirty energy. Now you might be wondering, what if I'm not naturally super girly or outgoing? The truth is, playful femininity looks different for every woman. For some, it might be a mischievous smile. For others, it's a witty remark, a twinkle in the eye, or a subtle touch on the arm while laughing at something he said. It's not about forcing yourself to act a certain way. It's about finding your version of that easy, breezy, radiant energy that feels natural to you. One simple way to tap into your playful side is to stop taking yourself or the interaction too seriously. Instead of worrying about saying the perfect thing or impressing him, focus on having fun. Enjoy the conversation. Find little things to laugh about. Be curious, be light-hearted. This creates an emotional atmosphere that's not only attractive, but unforgettable. Because here's the truth. A woman who can be playful shows that she trusts herself and trusts life. She's not guarded, calculating, or heavy with expectations. And that is an energy men find absolutely irresistible, the kind they can't stop thinking about long after the moment has passed. In a world full of stress, seriousness, and screens, a woman who brings joy, lightness, and laughter will always stand out, not because she's louder or flashier, but because she makes him feel something beautiful. She reminds him of the simple, delicious thrill of being alive, and that's a feeling no man ever forgets. Now, if confidence draws him in and playful femininity warms his heart, mystery is what keeps him thinking about you long after you're gone. There's something undeniably magnetic about a woman who doesn't reveal everything about herself right away. A woman who leaves a little bit unsaid, a little bit unexplained. It creates an emotional tension, a pull that keeps a man curious, engaged, and most importantly, invested. You see, we often think that in order to connect with someone, we have to lay it all out on the table. We rush to overshare our life stories, our past relationships, our deepest fears, thinking that total transparency will build intimacy faster. But true connection doesn't come from handing everything over at once. It comes from a dance, a gradual unfolding. And that unfolding is what creates intrigue. Mystery isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about letting a man earn the right to know you on deeper levels, step by step. It's about pacing the relationship in a way that allows curiosity, anticipation, and even a little bit of wonder to grow naturally. When you are selective about what you share and when you share it, you signal self-respect. You show that your inner world, your thoughts, dreams, fears, and passions are precious. And if a man wants access to those treasures, he must show you he's worthy of that trust. Think of it like a beautiful novel. If the author spoiled the ending in the first chapter, you'd lose the desire to keep reading. The beauty is in the slow reveal, the way each chapter invites you deeper, builds your investment in the story. You are that story, and every moment of mystery, every little glimpse into your world invites him to want more. Practically speaking, this means you don't have to immediately explain every detail about your life. You don't have to overshare about your past relationships, your biggest fears, or your life goals on the first few dates. Allow the connection to unfold naturally. Answer questions honestly, but don't feel obligated to bare your soul right away. Hold some things close, not because you're hiding, but because you understand the power of depth revealed over time. Mystery also lives in your energy. It's in the way you listen more than you speak sometimes, allowing him to wonder what you're thinking. It's in the way you give him glimpses of your passions, but not every detail all at once. It's in maintaining your own life, your hobbies, your dreams, your friendships, so that he realizes you are your own adventure, with or without him. One of the biggest mistakes women make is losing themselves in a man's world too quickly. When you make yourself too available, always reachable, always eager, the mystery fades. But when you stay grounded in your own life, when you remain a little unpredictable, not in a manipulative way, but because you genuinely have a rich, full existence, you become unforgettable. Men are natural hunters by instinct. They love the thrill of the chase not because they don't value you, but because earning your attention and affection makes the bond feel more meaningful to them. Mystery gives them a reason to keep showing up, keep asking questions, keep investing in the connection. So don't be afraid to leave a little space. Let him wonder about you, let him miss you, let him work to know you, because a woman who masters the art of mystery doesn't just capture a man's attention in the moment, she lingers in his mind, his heart, and his imagination, far beyond anything she ever had to say out loud. So far, we've talked about confidence, playful femininity, and the power of mystery. But there's another irresistible quality that sets a woman apart in a way that's unforgettable, and that's having passion for life. There's something electric about a woman who wakes up excited about her own existence. A woman who has interests, dreams, and a fire in her belly that isn't dependent on anyone else to ignite it. This kind of energy is contagious. It draws a man in because it shows him that you're living for you, not waiting for someone else to bring you happiness. When a woman is deeply connected to her own passions, whether it's her career, her art, her fitness goals, her love of travel, music, cooking, learning, whatever lights her up, it creates a magnetic force around her. She becomes a source of inspiration rather than seeking inspiration outside herself. And here's the secret. A man doesn't fall for a woman just because of how she looks. He falls for how he feels around her. And when he sees you lit up, alive, and full of excitement about your own life, he feels drawn to that flame. He wants to be part of your world, not because you need him, but because your energy makes his own life feel richer. Having passion also shows emotional depth. It tells a man that you are capable of feeling deeply, of committing yourself fully, not just to a relationship, but to life itself. And that's incredibly attractive. Too often, people enter relationships hoping that someone else will bring meaning or excitement into their lives. But a relationship should never be your only source of passion. It should add to a life that's already full and meaningful. When you live this way, you naturally avoid the trap of becoming overly dependent or losing yourself in another person. Instead, you bring a whole, vibrant, thriving self to the table, and that's a woman a man can truly admire and respect. Now you might wonder, what if I don't have a big, dramatic passion? That's okay. Passion doesn't have to be about grand gestures or chasing huge dreams. It can be as simple as loving the way you spend your weekends, getting excited about a new book, diving into a hobby that makes you lose track of time, or constantly seeking to grow and improve yourself. The important thing is that you are living with intentionality, that you are engaged with your life, rather than waiting passively for someone or something to make it exciting. And passion isn't just about what you do, it's about how you do it. It's the energy you bring to everyday moments. It's how you talk about your favorite things, how your eyes light up when you share a story, how you carry yourself when you're doing something you love. That vibrancy, that sense of purpose and excitement, is absolutely magnetic. Men can sense when a woman is deeply in love with her own life. It makes them want to step up, to be part of your adventure, not because you need rescuing, but because being near you feels like being near the sun, warm, energizing, and unforgettable. So if you want him to think about you a lot, Don't just focus on impressing him. Focus on falling in love with your own journey, chase your dreams, pursue your goals, fill your life with things that make your heart beat faster. Because the truth is, the more passionately you live, the more naturally irresistible you become. Passion for life is not just attractive, it's unforgettable. And the woman who lives this way will not only capture a man's attention, she'll capture his imagination, his admiration, and maybe even his heart. Confidence draws him in, playfulness makes him smile, mystery keeps him curious, passion makes him dream. But what truly makes a woman unforgettable, the kind of woman a man thinks about over and over again, is her kindness. With boundaries, kindness on its own is beautiful, but it's kindness with strength behind it that truly captures a man's respect and admiration. Many women are naturally nurturing. We want to care, to give, to be generous with our hearts. And that's a powerful thing when it's balanced, because unchecked kindness, kindness without limits, can quickly lead to feeling drained, taken for granted, and ultimately losing yourself. A woman who can be warm and open while also honoring herself is rare. And rarity is irresistible. Think about it. A woman who is genuinely kind makes a man feel safe. She creates a space where he feels accepted, where he can let his guard down. But a woman who pairs that kindness with clear boundaries also teaches him how to value her. She communicates, without even having to say it outright, that her love is a gift, not a given. Men deeply respect women who are loving but not self-sacrificing, who can say yes with a full heart, but who can also say no without guilt. It signals emotional maturity, self-respect, and strength, qualities that don't just attract a man physically, but emotionally and spiritually too. Setting boundaries doesn't mean being cold, distant, or harsh. It's not about building walls to keep people out. It's about building healthy, strong gates that open for the right people, at the right times, under the right circumstances. And when you approach it this way, you don't have to defend your boundaries aggressively. Your calm, steady energy says it all. I know my worth. I know what I'm willing to give and what I'm not. Here's something powerful to remember. Men feel your standards long before they hear them. It's not just about what you say, it's about what you tolerate, how you respond to poor treatment, and how you prioritize yourself even while being generous with others. When you embody kindness with boundaries, you show a man that being part of your life is a privilege, not a right. You demonstrate that your heart is open, but it's not available to just anyone who shows up. He must show consistency, respect, and effort. And that challenge, that beautiful blend of love and limits, awakens something deep inside him. It stirs the part of him that wants to rise up. It inspires him to be better, to protect the bond, to cherish it because he knows it isn't something he can take for granted. And most importantly, kindness with boundaries protects you. It keeps you from overgiving, from losing your light trying to fix or save someone else. It allows you to stay grounded, centered, and joyful, so that when the right man does come into your life, you have even more love, warmth, and authenticity to offer him. The truth is, kindness without strength can be exploited, but kindness with boundaries, that's irresistible. It's rare, powerful, and unforgettable. It creates a relationship dynamic built on mutual respect, admiration, and deep emotional safety. So if you want a man to think about you a lot, to not just desire you, but to deeply respect and value you, let your kindness flow freely, but always from a place of strength, because a woman who loves herself first is a woman who teaches the world how to love her right. And finally, if you truly want to leave a lasting imprint on a man's heart and mind, you must embody something that is both simple and incredibly rare: emotional presence. In today's world, where so many people are distracted, busy, and half listening while checking their phones, a woman who is fully present stands out like a lighthouse in the fog. It's not just about listening to a man's words, it's about truly being there with him, feeling the energy between you, holding space without rushing to fix, judge, or interrupt. Emotional presence is magnetic because it creates a feeling of intimacy without pressure. It tells a man, you are seen, you are heard, you are safe with me. And in a world that often teaches men to suppress their emotions and hide their vulnerabilities, being with a woman who offers genuine presence is incredibly healing and unforgettable. But here's the key. Emotional presence is not about losing yourself in his world. It's about standing firmly in your own energy while being open and receptive to what's unfolding between you. It's an active choice to be in the moment, rather than in your head, worrying about the past or planning the future. When you're emotionally present, you're attuned not just to his words, but to his essence. You notice his tone, his body language, the subtle shifts in his mood. You respond authentically, without forcing anything. This creates a deep resonance, the kind of connection that doesn't even need constant talking, because just being together feels so natural, so real. And it's not just for serious conversations. Emotional presence during lighthearted moments, laughing at a joke, locking eyes across a room, sharing a silent smile builds powerful chemistry too. It shows him that you're with him, that you're not somewhere else in your mind. One of the most irresistible things you can do is to let a man feel you in the moment, not through grand gestures or elaborate conversations, but through your energy, relaxed, open, engaged. And here's something even more powerful. Emotional presence also means being present with yourself. It means knowing when you're triggered, noticing your own emotions without judgment, and choosing how you respond with grace. When a woman can stay grounded in her own emotions, she creates a space where emotional honesty is not only welcomed, but celebrated. Men are deeply drawn to women who can experience a wide range of emotions: joy, excitement, curiosity, even vulnerability without being overwhelmed by them. A woman who can cry without falling apart, who can laugh without hiding, who can express anger without losing control, this woman becomes unforgettable. Because she shows him that emotional connection is not something to fear, it's something to treasure. The more emotionally present you are, the more alive every moment with you feels. And that aliveness is what makes a man replay your conversations in his mind, long after they're over. It's what makes him crave your presence when you're not around. It's what makes him realize that being with you feels different, deeper, more real than anything he's experienced before. So remember, it's not about always saying the right thing. It's not about performing or being perfect. It's about being real. It's about showing up with your heart open, your mind clear, and your spirit engaged. Because at the end of the day, it's not just your beauty, your charm, or your words that will haunt his thoughts. It's how he felt when he was with you. And a woman who masters the art of emotional presence leaves a mark on a man's soul that he won't ever want to erase.